Hello, Taurus, and welcome. I'm Adriana. I'm an Evolutionary Life Coach, here to guide you today through your intuitive message and spiritual focus for the week. So, first card is the card that the universe sends you energy to work with this week, as well as the theme of the week. We have the Death card. I really like the Death card, actually. I know a lot of people get scared with the Death card, but I really like it because it tells me that we're moving into something new, that something is being regenerated or reborn, and that we're done with something old. I don't know about you, but I love getting new things. And when I can throw out something old because I'm getting something new, I get so excited. So that's the energy of this card here. The Death card is talking about quietly letting something go, quietly realizing that something needs to be released and something needs to leave your energy field and your experience. It's also very interesting, Taurus, because we're in Taurus season right now. And Monday is the full moon in Scorpio, which is our opposite. And Scorpio is the Death card. The Death card is associated with Scorpio, and likewise. Okay, so your energy is Eight of Pentacles. This is an energy of repetition, of dedication, of doing things over and over. But if you have been doing a lot of work on yourself, we're talking about karmic release here between these two cards. That this is the way things have been over and over and over, and the Death card is asking you to let some of that go, to let all of that go. So this may be things in your DNA. This may be things to have to do with getting your soul growth to the next level. This may also just be things in your daily routine, habits that you do over and over that aren't good for you, or thought patterns that you adhere to. But I think more than thought patterns, it's tangible things. So routines, habits. So this Death card is asking you to let these go, to purify them. You know what's interesting? Because in a way, this forge and the cauldron are kind of similar energies in that you put something into it and it becomes reborn out of it. So you put metal into here and it melts, and then you can form it into different shapes. Likewise, this cauldron, there's a very famous legend with this, that there was a sorceress, I think she would put dead soldiers or soldiers that had been maimed into her cauldron, and then the cauldron would make them spring out anew. So there's a chance to redo things anew instead of pouring things into the same mold over and over. You have a chance to do something new, Taurus. Okay, so while I pull your next cards, I'd like to take this moment to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much for returning and for being here. It's so great to see you again. Feel free to also hit that like button if you feel like it. Okay, great cards coming up next. Just give me a second with them. Okay. So, Taurus, you have gone inside in search of some hidden treasure. You may have gotten some information from a deeper source like your guides or your intuition, or you may have just done a lot of introspection, really looking in your internal landscape for a treasure, for something true, something that you cherish about yourself. And that deep inner work, finding what you've been looking for, that aspect of yourself, or something that you feel excited about, something you feel passionate about, it sets a wheel in motion. We have literally the wheel, and it sets a different destiny in motion for you, because you've gone inside and you've found some information, or you found some truth about yourself. It sets a wheel in motion and things begin to turn. And these things turning are outside your control, which is actually awesome, right? You're not having to turn the wheel yourself. It just starts to move for you. And things start to shift, and positive energy and things working out, it starts to come your way. This is called the Wheel of Fortune in other cards. And although it's called the wheel in this deck and it means something slightly different, I do get the feeling that this is a positive movement forward. We have this kind of soul searching in the night, and then this daylight on the sand. Something is shifting and moving here. It comes up against the Seven of Wands because you're going to have to defend your truth. You're going to have to defend this aspect of yourself. Whatever you have found in the hermit land here, whatever truth or wisdom you found here, you know, it feels whole and it feels safe and secure when it's inside. But as the world turns, as the universe turns for you, and that gift or that finding or that gem, it needs to come out onto the inside. It needs to be tested on the outside. You're going to have to stand your ground with it. So it's kind of like, you know, you discover something about yourself and you want to share it with someone. And maybe you share it with someone and they don't quite get it, or they question you on that, or maybe they try to tear you down because they're not in a good state themselves. So it doesn't matter. What it matters is that you're standing firm in whatever it is, and you're not allowing that to get to you, because this is a sacred and special thing that has happened for you, Taurus. I mean, it's amazing that you go inside and all of a sudden the universe just shifts for you. Either others may not see it, or others may want that position that you're in, and they don't know how you got there. They don't understand that it was actually a lot of inside work, a lot of hard work. They don't understand how you got there, and they want it. But your job is to stand your ground. Things are all very well and good in a safe place, but we don't really understand. We don't know if we're committed to them, or we don't know if they're strong enough unless we test them. It's just like plants. I don't know if you're a gardener too, but I love to garden. And there's a stage, you grow seedlings inside. When you start plants, you can start them inside, and they're kind of coddled, you know, they're in a controlled environment. You're watching them, you're taking care of them. But then there's this period of hardening off where you have to put them outside, still in a vaguely protected area, but where they can be subject to the temperature fluctuations and the wind and a little bit of sun. And they have to spend a little bit of time in there before they can go into the ground. Because if you go straight into the ground, chances are they're not strong enough. In the first temperature fluctuation, they're just going to go, and their roots aren't going to develop enough. On the other hand, if you keep them inside too long, then they also become weak, because they haven't developed those instincts, or they're just not going to be strong enough, again, to withstand the harshness. So the hardening off period, that's where we are here. That you've done the growth, you know, we've got something started, we've got something moving. Now we've just got some elements coming at you, some things coming at you to make you stronger. What being in the wind does to a seedling is it makes its trunk, or it makes its basic stem, it makes it thicker. It makes it harder, so that when you put it in the ground, it doesn't just immediately flop over. It has a nice strong stem, and it can stand very firm. That's where you are. You're that seedling, and we're just trying to get you a thicker trunk, a thicker base, so that when this deepens and goes into the earth and really sprouts into a giant tree as a big integral part of your life, there's going to be no shaking and moving it. Okay, so questions about that? If I got a little too gardeny, let me know. I just love plants, and I love to share my love of plants. So anyway, you have to forgive me on that. Please leave a comment. I do love to hear from you, and I'm excited to read your comments every week. If you are looking to take your spiritual journey to the next level, I invite you to visit True Guidance Tarot. It is a website designed to offer you the best spiritual offerings possible. And if that is something you're looking for, please check it out, and I'll see you next time.